Discipline isn't a gift. It's a choice you make every single day. Welcome to the Discipline Code. 10 powerful chapters that will teach you how to force yourself to be disciplined, even when every part of you wants to quit. This isn't about motivation. This is about building unbreakable self-control that works regardless of how you feel. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Face your laziness directly. Discipline is forcing yourself to do what must be done, even when you don't want to. This is the truth most people avoid, but it's what separates success from failure. Laziness is the enemy of your future. When you feel that pull to stay in bed, when your mind whispers you deserve a break, that's the moment you must stand up and refuse to negotiate. If you negotiate with laziness even once, it will win every time. Laziness doesn't always look like doing nothing. Sometimes it shows up as scrolling through your phone, eating food you don't need, or doing busy work that keeps you from what really matters. Progress is always found in what's difficult. Every time you choose comfort over action, you train your mind to obey laziness. When your life demands focus, you'll already be conditioned to quit. That's why it's dangerous to negotiate, even with small excuses. Think about how many times you've chosen the easy option over the necessary one. How many times you said, "I'll do it tomorrow," only to find tomorrow looks exactly like today. Face laziness directly. Look it in the eye and refuse to make deals. When you refuse to negotiate, you're telling yourself, "I am worth the effort. My future is worth the sacrifice. My goals are worth the discomfort." Start small. Pick one thing you need to do and do it immediately. Don't think, don't debate, don't ask how you feel. Stand up and act. That small victory breaks the pattern. Laziness never really goes away, but you can weaken it. Every time you choose action over excuses, you take back strength. Eventually, discipline becomes who you are, not just something you do. The moment you refuse to negotiate with laziness is the moment you force yourself into discipline. And discipline is the path that changes everything. Chapter 2. Take small actions immediately. Discipline isn't built in giant leaps. It's created in small actions taken at the exact moment they're needed. Every time you delay, you weaken your ability to respond. Think about how often opportunities pass because you paused. You felt the urge to exercise, but waited and skipped it. You knew you had a call to make, but said later, and later never came. Now imagine the opposite. Every time you had the thought to act, you moved. You thought of drinking water, you drank it. You remembered a task, you started it right then. This pattern builds instant responsibility. The reason immediate action works is because your brain creates reasons to stop. Within seconds of thinking about something hard, your mind says you're tired. You'll have more energy later. It's not urgent. But these arguments only appear when you wait. If you act before your brain has time to debate, you win. You cut off excuses before they take shape. Small instant actions matter more than big delayed ones. Start training this skill with something simple. When your alarm rings, stand up immediately. Not after minutes, not after checking your phone, immediately. That small action builds a strong lesson. I control my response. Do the same with small tasks. If it takes 30 seconds, do it right now. Each time you do this, you reinforce that you're a person who acts, not waits. Try the 3-2-1 rule. When you think of something necessary, count down 3-2-1 and move. Don't let the thought sit. This breaks the habit of waiting. Discipline becomes trained reflex, not forced effort. Your feelings will change daily. but your trained response will keep you consistent. The life you want waits only for those who learn to act without delay. Chapter 3. Control your thoughts. The greatest battles of discipline are fought in your mind. Every action begins as a thought. Every decision is shaped by your thinking. If you don't control what happens in your head, your life will be led by impulses and emotions. Most people underestimate how much their thoughts influence their lives. The person who repeatedly thinks, "I'll never improve," eventually stops trying. The person who constantly thinks, "I will fail," doesn't even begin. When you're not aware of your thoughts, your mind becomes a playground for negativity. One negative thought leads to another. Soon you're filled with hesitation, fear, or excuses. You start avoiding what's hard. You settle for less than you're capable of. The first step to controlling thoughts is awareness. Stop and ask, what am I thinking right now? Is this thought leading me forward or holding me back? Just asking this gives you power to separate from the thought. The second step is replacement. You can't just delete negative thoughts. You must replace them with constructive ones. If your mind says, "I can't do this," replace it with, "I will start with one small step." If it says, "I don't feel like starting," replace it with, "Starting creates momentum." Control what you feed your mind. The news you watch, the people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, all shape your thinking. If you're around complainers, you'll think in complaints. If you want discipline, feed your mind clarity and focus. Your feelings follow your thoughts. If your thinking is undisciplined, your emotions will be unstable. You'll feel discouraged or anxious, not because of circumstances, but because of how you're thinking about them. When you control your thoughts, your emotions stabilize. You feel capable and strong. When emotions are steady, your decisions improve. This is why thought control isn't just mental. It directly affects your energy and ability to follow through. Treat every thought as a visitor knocking at your mind's door. Some you welcome because they bring value. Others you send away because they bring harm. The power to decide is yours. Exercise it daily, and discipline becomes your way of life. Chapter 4. Force repetition. Human behavior is built on patterns. Whatever you do repeatedly becomes easier to do again. Your brain adapts and doesn't care whether what you repeat is useful or destructive. Think about the first time you tried something difficult. It felt heavy and awkward. But after repetition, the difficulty faded. The task became normal. That shift happened because your brain adjusted to the repetition. Most people quit before this adjustment takes place. They expect discipline to feel natural immediately. But nothing feels natural in the beginning. Walking once felt impossible. Reading once felt overwhelming. You overcame those through repetition. Repetition works through consistency, not intensity. Reading 2 pages every day is more powerful than reading 100 pages once a month. Moving your body daily is more effective than one hard workout, followed by weeks of rest. Your brain learns through rhythm. The key is pushing through the middle stage, where it feels unnatural, uncomfortable, where you don't see results. This is where discipline is truly built. If you quit here, you erase progress. If you persist, you solidify it. Link new behaviors to existing habits. Do push-ups after brushing teeth. Write in your journal after morning coffee. These triggers make repetition automatic. Celebrate the repetition itself, not just the outcome. Every time you complete the action, you win. This reinforces the behavior in your brain. Repetition builds evidence for your mind. Every time you repeat a disciplined action, you prove to yourself that you can do it. One push-up proves you're capable of moving. One day of writing proves you can produce. Eventually, repetition moves from something you do to something you are. At first you say, "I'm trying to be disciplined." After enough repetition, you say, "I am disciplined." That shift in identity is powerful. Repetition feels slow, but it's the fastest path to change. Because once your brain accepts a new behavior, you no longer fight yourself. You move forward naturally. At first you carry the habit, then the habit carries you. Chapter 5. Replace negative self-talk. The way you talk to yourself is the most powerful influence on your discipline. Every word you repeat in your mind either strengthens or weakens you. You cannot live a disciplined life if negative self-talk controls your decisions. Negative self-talk comes quietly. It tells you you're not ready. It reminds you of past failures. It whispers the effort is too much. Most people allow these thoughts to become permanent companions without realizing they're shaping their future. Strict self-direction is the antidote. It's the decision to take full control of your inner dialogue. Instead of allowing thoughts to drift, you give commands. Instead of telling yourself you cannot, you direct yourself to act. The reason this works is because the brain responds to clarity. Vague thoughts create hesitation. Clear commands create action. If you tell yourself, "Maybe I should do this," your body hesitates. If you tell yourself, "I must do this now," your body follows. When you notice negative self-talk, the first step is recognition. Catch yourself saying, "I'm too tired. I'm not smart enough. I'll never succeed." Recognition allows you to interrupt the cycle. The second step is immediate replacement. Don't leave the space empty. Replace "I can't do this" with "I will complete one step right now." Replace "I feel too lazy" with "I will stand up and move immediately." Be precise with your directions. Don't just say, "I can do it." Say exactly what you'll do. Write one page now. Turn off the phone and focus. Precision eliminates room for excuses. Your tone matters. Speak to yourself like a leader, not a negotiator. When your mind says, "I don't feel like it," respond with authority. Do it now. That firmness creates action. Negative self-talk often disguises itself as kindness. It tells you you deserve to rest when you haven't worked. It says, "Taking it easy today won't hurt." Recognize these as traps. True self-respect means doing what needs to be done. Build a voice inside you that you trust completely. A voice that doesn't give excuses, doesn't waste time, doesn't lower standards. When that voice guides you daily, discipline becomes natural. Chapter 6. Use pressure to act. Comfort is one of discipline's greatest enemies. It feels safe and pleasant, but if you give in too often, it pulls you away from progress. Comfort whispers you can delay, you can relax longer. Slowly, it weakens your drive. Pressure is the tool that breaks comfort's grip. Think about deadlines. How many times have you produced more in a few hours than in weeks? That's pressure forcing action. The problem is, most people wait for external pressure. Discipline means applying pressure on yourself before life does it for you. Comfort has no urgency. It convinces you tomorrow is as good as today. Pressure creates urgency. It tells you the time is now. Create pressure through accountability. Tell someone your commitments. Make your goals visible. When others are watching, comfort has less power to talk you out of action. Set strict deadlines. A goal without a deadline is just a wish. Challenge yourself to act sooner than feels comfortable. This urgency forces focus and cuts distractions. Use financial pressure. Invest in a class, buy equipment, put money on the line. When you have something to lose, you're less likely to delay. Raise your standards. When you accept mediocrity, comfort wins easily. But when you demand more from yourself, you create internal pressure to perform higher, even when you don't feel like it. Visualize the cost of comfort. Ask what your life will look like if you keep choosing ease over effort. Picture the wasted time, lost opportunities, building regret. Let that vision create emotional pressure to act now. In moments of weakness, use firm commands. When comfort pulls at you, say, "Do it now." No delay. This creates instant pressure to move. Responsibility creates pressure. When others depend on you, you can't afford laziness. Take on commitments that require your discipline. When someone relies on you, comfort becomes a weaker option. Comfort will always invite you to rest longer, wait more. You can't eliminate that pull, but you can overpower it with pressure. Comfort is gentle. Pressure is firm. Comfort whispers. Pressure demands. Which you listen to determines your life's direction. Chapter 7. Build mental toughness. Mental toughness is the ability to keep moving when every part of you wants to stop. It's the strength to choose effort over relief. Life constantly presents two choices. Choose effort and grow stronger, or choose relief and stay weak. The easy road tempts you daily. But if you always take it, you'll never know your real capacity. Discipline belongs to those who train themselves to choose effort consistently, even when relief looks more inviting. Toughness isn't built in comfort. It's created in moments when effort feels heavy, when resistance feels unbearable, when you'd rather escape. That's the moment you define yourself. If you quit, you teach yourself relief is more important than progress. If you push through, you teach yourself effort defines you. Most people choose relief without realizing it. They reach for food when stressed instead of addressing the issue. They check phones to avoid hard tasks. They stop short of finishing. These small moments accumulate into patterns that build either weakness or toughness. Start with small acts of effort. Finish your workout without cutting it short. Complete your task before checking your phone. Stay focused for set time without distraction. These small victories strengthen your discomfort tolerance. Create personal rules you don't break. Decide you won't sleep until your daily target is complete. Decide you won't stop halfway once you begin. These rules act as anchors when relief tempts you. Remember, effort feels different once you begin. The hardest part is the first few minutes. Push through that initial resistance, and your body and mind adjust. See effort as training, not punishment. Every difficult task is a workout for your mind. Every uncomfortable moment is practice for resilience. People who see effort as punishment run from it. People who see it as training welcome it. Mental toughness requires patience. Relief offers immediate comfort. Effort demands time before results appear. You may work for weeks or months before seeing change. This gap causes many to quit. The disciplined person accepts that patience is part of the process. They understand every day of effort is a brick in the foundation. They trust rewards will come if they keep stacking bricks. When you choose effort, you prove to yourself you can be trusted to finish. That trust builds pride, and pride fuels confidence. When you choose relief, you lose self-respect. That disappointment weakens confidence. Effort is what gives life meaning. Relief feels empty because it creates nothing. It's fleeting. But effort produces results, builds skills, creates confidence, leaves a legacy. You won't be proud of escape times, but of times you chose effort and proved you were stronger than you thought. Chapter 8. Fight impulses. Impulses are quick urges that pull you toward comfort, distraction, or instant pleasure. They show up without warning, and if you obey them, they lead you from discipline's path. In the moment, an impulse feels harmless. The sugary food feels good now. The skipped workout feels easier now. The delayed work feels lighter now. But tomorrow you feel weaker. Tomorrow you feel behind. Tomorrow you carry regret. The secret to overcoming impulses is pausing and projecting yourself into the future. Imagine clearly the pain of what surrendering will cost you. The reward of an impulse never lasts as long as the regret. That regret lingers and grows. Discipline trains your mind to look beyond the present moment. Anyone can choose what feels good now, but the disciplined person chooses based on tomorrow's impact. This ability separates growth from stagnation. Use visualization. When the impulse comes, don't just think about the comfort. Picture the pain that follows. Picture how you'll feel if you give in. Imagine the stress of unfinished work piling up. Imagine opportunities lost. Let these images become clear. Remember, impulses are temporary. They feel strong but pass quickly if you resist. Most people never learn to wait them out. They feel the urge and immediately obey. If you pause and hold the line, the impulse weakens. Each resistance builds more strength. Identify your triggers. Maybe it's when you're tired, stressed, or bored. If you don't identify triggers, you'll always fall into the same trap. Once you know them, you can prepare. When the urge appears, you won't be surprised. Replace impulses with stronger actions. If you feel the urge to skip work, start with a small piece immediately. If you feel the urge to eat poorly, drink water first. If you feel the urge to scroll endlessly, take a short walk instead. Replacement weakens impulses by redirecting energy. The cost of living by impulses is heavy. It may not destroy you in one day, but it chips away at strength over time. One skipped workout isn't the problem, but repeated impulses create a body you no longer respect. One delayed task isn't the issue, but repeated impulses create a life of missed opportunities. Shift your pain perspective. The pain of effort is temporary. The pain of regret is permanent. When you feel an impulse, ask which pain you're choosing. Discipline means consistently choosing the pain that serves you. Create a gap between urge and action. That pause is where your power lies. That pause is where you decide whether to live in regret or discipline. Mental strength grows each time you hold that line. Chapter 9. Direct your energy. Every person wakes with limited energy. Where you direct it determines everything. You can build a meaningful life or waste energy on distractions that lead nowhere. Many people feel drained, yet unfulfilled, because they scatter energy across too many things. They spend hours reacting to messages, scrolling content, worrying about opinions that don't move life forward. They end exhausted, but nothing important was built. Discipline isn't just about forcing action. It's ensuring actions are directed toward what truly matters. Without this focus, you can work hard all day and still feel empty because energy went to things making no real difference. The first step is clarity. You must know what truly matters. Ask, what few things create biggest results? What actions move me closer to health, growth, stability, freedom? Once clear, align energy only with those priorities. Identify your top 3 daily tasks, not errands or busy work, but actions aligning with long-term goals. Do them before anything else. If you give best energy to trivial things, you'll have nothing left for what counts. Learn to say no. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to your priorities. This isn't selfishness. It's being intentional with your one life. Discipline requires strength to say no firmly without guilt. Recognize false productivity. Reorganizing your desk for the third time isn't work. Over-planning without acting isn't progress. Constantly ask, is this moving me forward? If not, stop immediately. Manage your peak energy hours. Everyone has times when they're sharpest. Guard that time fiercely. Don't waste sharp energy on trivial tasks. Directing best energy to best work multiplies results. Track where your energy goes. Most people have no idea how much time they lose to distraction. Hours disappear in entertainment or scrolling. When you track habits honestly, you see energy leaks clearly. Directing energy requires courage because it often means disappointing others. People will want your attention for things benefiting them, not you. If you don't stand firm, you'll constantly give energy away. Life is short. Every day spent on meaningless tasks is a day never returned. The regret of wasted energy is painful. Many realize too late they spent years on things that didn't matter. Create a list of your highest priorities, no more than 5. Compare everything against that list. If an action serves a priority, it deserves energy. If not, minimize or eliminate it. This cuts noise and creates direction. The disciplined life isn't about doing everything. It's about doing right things with consistency. When every ounce of energy fuels progress instead of distraction, your life transforms. Chapter 10. Condition your mind. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. They come and go without warning. If you build life on waiting for motivation, you'll never be consistent. You'll only act when conditions feel good. Discipline requires something stronger than motivation. It requires conditioning your mind to act regardless of feelings. This conditioning separates dreamers from achievers. Action doesn't depend on motivation. Action creates its own energy. Many get this backwards. They wait for inspiration before starting projects, going to the gym, or changing habits. But inspiration often arrives only after action begins. Condition your mind by removing choice from the equation. When you decide something must be done, don't wait to see if you feel like it. Act because it's required. Build rules that don't depend on moods. Create non-negotiable daily commitments. It could be writing certain words, exercising set time, or dedicating part of day to focused work. The point, they happen without discussion. By repeating them daily, your brain learns they're automatic. Start small. Pick one area where you'll remove need for motivation. Commit to it daily. At first, you'll resist. Your mind will scream for comfort. But each time you act anyway, you weaken laziness and strengthen discipline. Shorten the gap between decision and action. The longer you wait after deciding, the more space for excuses. If you decide to exercise, start immediately. If you decide to study, open the book right then. Immediate action locks in decisions. Reframe how you think about motivation. Treat it as a bonus, not a requirement. When present, enjoy it. When absent, ignore it. Stop giving it power to dictate actions. Tie action to identity. Stop saying, I need motivation to do this. Start saying, I'm the kind of person who does this. When you connect discipline to who you are, actions become consistent. Expect resistance. Your mind will test you. It will search for reasons to delay. This mental resistance is natural. The key isn't eliminating it, but acting despite it. Each time you do, you prove you're stronger than resistance. Embrace discomfort directly. Many avoid action waiting for it to feel good. But part of conditioning is teaching yourself you can act when tasks feel unpleasant. You can write without feeling creative. You can train when your body feels heavy. You can study when your mind feels distracted. Structure your days. If days are unstructured, you leave space for indecision. Clear routines make your brain shift into action without waiting for permission. Wake same time, work same time, end with same ritual. The cost of waiting for motivation is high. You lose time, progress, and self-trust. Each delay reinforces that you can't act without right mood. But each action without motivation reinforces that you're in control. From today, stop relying on feelings. Train yourself to act on commitment. Condition your mind through daily repetition until actions become automatic. Build identity based on discipline, not emotion. When you master this, you become unstoppable. You no longer wait for inspiration. You no longer waste days because motivation didn't show. You live with certainty, knowing that no matter what, you will act. You've just completed the Discipline Code. Remember, discipline isn't something you find, it's something you build. Day by day, choice by choice, these 10 chapters are your blueprint. Now, the real work begins. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Your future self is waiting. Thank you for watching.